Okay. Hi, the footage that you are about to receive is predated, for context, 6 months ago. Today is now April the 12th. This is a reflection of my mindsets and things as I further explain why I do this. And I've already seen how much I've grown within 6 months. There are so many times where I didn't take my own advice and I would have been better off these past 6 months. But I also have seen how much I've grown, and I've come to learn how negative I was about the viewpoints in life and how I desperately wish that me, future me, which is now me, can go back and diamond tell her that it's gonna be okay. That was who I was then, and I've grown, and that's important to always see growth in yourself. I think that's all that matters. And I want to attract into my life other people and other creatives who are also artists, and I can't do that without putting myself out there creatively as well. I might never ever be able to start this channel or anything that I do exactly how I envision it, but I can always spend all this time to prove what is in here. But you know, an idea is just an idea if I never execute. So yeah, so this is something that I wanted to do. Maybe you'll find something that resonates with you. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. Roll the clips. I originally wanted to make this sort of serious type questionnaire interview type thing that I can look back on when I'm in my 20s about my mindset and my values and my views, who I was as a teenager, as the last few remaining moments of that are slipping away from my fingertips. I realized that I would just sit down and be nonchalant about it while I'm eating this chicken wrap, because this is a wrap on an era of my life as a teenager, which is so scary because, you know, you don't want to grow up. You don't. It's not that I didn't imagine being this age. It's that I didn't imagine ever not feeling like I was going to have my life together by this age. For as long as I can remember, I've always been incredibly serious about so many things. And even from a young age, I already felt like I was getting old and losing time, when in fact, I would do nothing but go back in time and yell at and shake myself for thinking those things, because you should just enjoy it right now. And I always feel like I'm doing something wrong. And that's such a scary feeling when you're constantly putting yourself in a position where you think you should be at a certain point in your life. It's so easy for us to feel as though we're not accomplishing what we wanted. There are so many young people, and even quite younger, as social media's presence and reach goes beyond just a small town or your small community or your group of friends. You see people getting younger and younger and more successful, and you can't help but feel like there's something wrong with you, or there's something missing in you for not having had accomplished anything that you wanted to or sought out to do or feel like you're expected to do. Those big signifiers of your life. Like one day I'm going to get some email or mail or however it is in the future that one of my friends is getting married and one of my friends is having a kid. And those are the things that really truly scare me, because it really, really means that I'm getting old, of course. And that is and is going to be everything that comes with being in my 20s. And that just freaks me out. That always freaks me out. That there are just moments in our life where people become old friends. They become a friend from 10 years ago. They become a friend that you once knew, and then you're one of those people who hear about them on social media, and like, you know, they're posting about their kids' play or something like that. And those are the types of things that freak me out. The 3 things that I need to work on in my adulthood is, of course, still learning to love myself, because that is one of the hardest but the most important and essential thing that you need to invest in. Because if you don't learn how to love yourself, you will spend the rest of your life with yourself and you're hating the person you're with. It's so easy, and I am also guilty of being so self-deprecating and indulging in self-deprecating jokes and self-deprecating mindset. Not a fun thing after a while. Yeah, it's funny in the moment to say that I hate myself and things like that, or for doing this and for doing that, but the only thing and the only person you're joking is yourself. But it's so easy, right? It's so easy. You know, it's an easy thing for me to joke about on myself. And some of the nicest people that I know are the hardest on themselves, and for what reason, I don't know. And I think that's just one thing I need to work on. And another thing that I need to work on is not feeling like a burden. I always constantly feel like I'm taking up too much room, or I am being this burden to someone else when it's not, and that I'm deserving of the people's love and attention, regardless of whether I'm already at my best point. You still deserve these things like love and attention and feeling like you're complete, even though you're not completely at the point in your life that you want to be in. I don't have to always constantly prove myself and that I'm good enough. Basically, you have to learn that you are good enough and that there's nothing you can possibly ever do that makes you deserving of such. The last thing that I need to do is to unlearn certain things that have helped me in the past to cope with that situation, but that no longer serve a purpose to me. I shouldn't do such behaviors that before served me a great deal of purpose, but now no longer should be anything. There's just so many things that I've done that in the moment was necessary to cope with whatever I was dealing with, but those emotions and those things aren't necessarily something that I should continue to have. And that goes with even people. When you really love someone, and I mean when you really do love someone, you have to realize that maybe by letting them out of your life and both of you, do your own thing, showing that you do actually love them, that they deserve better and you deserve better, being in each other's life for the sake of being in each other's life because of history. And it's not even love anymore when you try to stick to being in each other's life and you make each other miserable. It's people, habits. And it's just that. Stop sticking to your old ways of thinking that you're not good enough. It's those systems that you need to break down that in the past have served to shelter you, make things that were tough in your life feel like a lesser blow on them. You have to let go of those things. And I think those are the three things that I genuinely need to work on. And I see myself wanting to change. Insert the Ratatouille-esque kind of montage that I had hoped it to be.
Les étaient pionniers, les vitons j'étais, et les jontons les hoppas, les chisots l'étaient, en poids.
people coin the term rosy pair of glasses. It is and was a good time. You forget everything that was truly the reality of it because you painted so well in your head. As much as I like looking back fondly at my memories, I just never felt like I was not living as fully in that moment to be happy about it as when I am looking fondly back at it. But it does remind me that there are just so many moments in life that you never realize how great they were until you can be able to look back and realize what kind of person that made you. The 3 things that made me the most happy in my teens: the time that I spent helping people, whether it was the time that I was a camp counselor and teaching children or helping at hospitals. Those were the moments that I felt the happiest. If you're not in your 20s yet and there's something that you feel like you're searching for to do, one thing you do is to find something outside of yourself that makes you happy. So the second thing that I will never regret is spending the time that I wanted to with the people that I love. Because as much as you know yourself, like you're an introverted person, it doesn't mean that you can't spend time with those that you loved. And the only thing I ever do regret, and I do forgive myself for now, because I can always now make up for it. And I think that's one of the best things that I've incorporated in my life, is spending those moments with the people you love. Because that's all you really have, is those memories you have with those people you love. And it's a toxic thing when you start to think you can do things alone, or sometimes you're not working hard enough and so you shouldn't spend time with other people because you should be doing something else to be alone. And there are times where that is truly valid, where you need to be alone. More often than not, it's the people in your life that love you that remind you that you are not alone, and I think that is so important. And last but not least, one major thing that I don't regret ever doing is pursuing the things that I love, regardless of whether or not someone thought otherwise of it. It was in those moments that I pursued filmmaking instead of hiding away and feeling afraid to show that side of yourself, and working hard at that and realizing that no matter how hard I worked at doing those things, it didn't really feel like work because I loved it so much. And in those moments, I will never regret the hard work that we put into those things. I think those are the things that I want to continuously do. I want to do things that I can look back on at least and really say that I was genuinely proud of myself for carrying out those things. I think that's why I'm doing this again. It's because I don't want to regret not doing this. This is more for me than anything. And if I don't do this, it's really going to be upsetting when I wake up one day and I'm like 30. I don't even want to think about being 30 when I can barely latch onto the idea of being 20. I really don't want to be able to say that I didn't do everything that I wanted to do. I think that's it. Wait, is this one the right ear? No, it's this one. Okay. I think the biggest comfort that I've gotten about growing up, it is a part of what makes you experience and become more wiser and understand the world a little bit better and become a better person. And what that requires time and inevitably aging. It's to say that there are times where I'm not afraid of getting older, because it only means you're going up somewhere, you know? But also to be young and naive and to enjoy the ever fleeting moment that is right now is something great. So I don't want to regret what I did in the past, or regret what's going to happen, or live in fear of not doing the right thing. I guess I need to start to try to feel like I've had my fun and I've learned a lot of things and I'm on my way to becoming an even greater person, and right now it's just a building block to that. And I still haven't quite wrapped my head around growing up. I guess the platitude that I want to leave myself off after all of this, it's the one that I always go back to, and it's from the movie that has changed me since for as long as I remember. I think I was around 10 years old when I first watched it. So it's a quote from F. Scott Fitzgerald, and basically it goes like this: for what it's worth, it's never too late, or in my case, too early, to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There's no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things that you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have a different point of view. I hope you live a life you're proud of, and if not, I hope you have the courage to start all over again. That's a chicken wrap on my teenage years. Yeah, that's it. Signing off.